Welcome to this week's Chumbi Wong Dong. In this episode, we're going to be looking at knee rehab again, and this one concentrates on stabilizing the knee so it doesn't wobble. I'm going to be using a piece of equipment today, but you can use alternatives if you don't have this equipment. And it's quite funny because when I was younger and I looked at this equipment advertised quite heavily during the 90s, I ridiculed it a bit, thinking who would ever need a step up? You have stairs in your house. But since having a step machine, since I've done my own knee rehab, I've found lots of uses for it and it's been very useful. So again, if you've got a step machine, now is the time to use it. If you don't have it, there are obviously alternatives. So I'm going to show you 4 exercises to help with your knee. I'm going to do 10 reps in this video. My advice is to do 3 sets. Start with sets of 5 and try and build up to 15. And then there are ways of making it more difficult, which I'll talk about later on. So the first exercise, you're going to be on one leg and you're just going to jump up onto the step or surface. Make sure it's stable and wide enough to support your foot. And then you're going to try and jump up and pause without your knee wobbling side to side. And you're just going to jump forward and back, looking forward, concentrating on something. Now, if your knee is bad, make the height you're jumping to very easy. If your knee is healthier and you just want to make it stronger and more dynamic, you just make it higher and increase the reps. And again, I'm going to do 10 on one side and then 10 on the other, making sure that I'm still breathing, keeping my hands in, keeping my posture aligned, and just really concentrating on landing softly on the balls of my foot and not dead flat on my heels, so there's a bit of stability there. The next exercise, again, you're going to be on one leg and you don't need anything for this, although you can use an uneven cushion surface if you want to make this more difficult. You simply go on your one foot and then raise up onto your toes, trying to hold at the top for a brief second or 2. And again, I'm going to do 10 reps. This is going to increase the muscles in your calves that go around the back of your knee. So this is very important. And again, you're trying to lift and hold. And again, not let your knee wobble and not fall side to side. So it's quite a good balance exercise. 10 on each side. Going with your breath, making sure you're looking forward at something to keep your focus. The next exercise, I'm going to use the width of the steps, but you could use anything. You could use 2 pads or you could use 2 cushions, anything. You're going to be on one leg again and you're going to jump from side to side. So if I stand on my right leg, I stand on the right first. If I jump left to right, that is 1 repetition. Again, you're going to be tempted to go fast, but you kind of want to put a little pause in there to make sure that your knee is stable. If you're wobbling all over the place, bring it together, the 2 objects or the distance you're jumping. If it's too easy for you, widen the distance, okay? And again, I'm going to do 10 on one side and 10 on the other. You might start to see discrepancies in my knee as I keep going, but again, I am doing knee rehab all the time to look after myself. The last exercise is probably the most difficult. It's called a pistol squat. Now, when you don't need any equipment for this one, but you might need a wall for balance. So I'm going to show you a couple of variations. The first 5 on my one leg, I'm going to do using a wall to assist me. And then I'm going to go down until I touch my step and then up. And then the last 10, I'm going to do it on the other leg where I go all the way down to the floor, touch the floor and come up. And again, you're trying to keep your back as straight as possible and looking forward at something. This is very difficult and can cause knee pain, especially if you're rehabbing. So my advice is to go to the point of pain and then back off. Don't try and fight through it and get to the floor just for the sake of it, because you'll make your injury worse. The knee takes a lot of patience, and again, it's about slow, controlled movement. Do not jerk the movement or try and force it. So we've enjoyed this tutorial on knee strengthening, knee rehab. There are other videos on the channel that help with this. I know as martial artists, our knees are one of the things that we need to look after the most. If you're enjoying this sort of rehab program, I can make a playlist with all the different rehab videos I have, and hopefully it's helping you to continue your training as you go forward. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks.